Stokes is with us. Good morning, David Stokes.
Good morning, McGraw. Good morning, Kelly.
Good morning.
We should say this is your swan song. You are leaving the Show Me Institute as the development director, and you're becoming executive director of what?
The Great Rivers Habitat Alliance.
Which leads into your final topic here on the Big 550 KTRS, and that is you spoke in opposition, believe it or not, one of a few people who showed up in opposition of Maryland Heights giving Stan Kroenke's company tax subsidies to build in a floodplain.
Yeah, they saved the worst for last, I guess would be the way to look at it. And they saved the things that I could talk about either at Show Me Institute or Great Rivers Habitat Alliance.
It's perfect. It's a perfect segue.
Perfect.
So,
and I heard what you were saying about it last Thursday and Friday. Obviously, Friday,
right,
the 9 o'clock hour, you were on full blast.
Right.
And obviously agree with all of it, as I think most St. Louisans do. I think the average St. Louisan realizes the profound absurdity of doing this proposal. But will that be enough to prevent the city of Maryland Heights, from moving ahead with it? I certainly hope so.
You testified against it. From David Hunn's article, it seemed like only a few people knew about this, and it sort of dropped in the lap. They were doing this quietly until the news media got a hold of it. Reading the tea leaves, do you think there might be enough backlash for Maryland Heights to say, hey, wait a minute, we don't want to be the ones to give Stan Kroenke tax money a week after he took the Rams?
Well, I certainly hope so. And while what passed last week did pass, I think 9-0, they were only going out for a proposal. So they haven't given Stan Kroenke or THF or any of their various companies,
right,
they haven't given them anything. They've just asked for a proposal. So I would hope that there's some people on the Maryland Heights Council who are either undecided or opposed to this, who nonetheless said, well, we'll go out for a proposal. Maybe somebody will come back and with a proposal to maintain most of the floodplain and not ask for tax dollars. I mean, that's highly unlikely based on David Hunn's and the Post-Dispatch's stories, which I trust.
Right.
But it's still possible.
The thing about it is they've been talking about TIF reform for 20 years. And they talk about smaller government and government working for everybody and don't pick winners and losers. Every single politician is guilty. If this goes through, they've had plenty of opportunity to change the way the TIF program works, to solve the problems, and they choose not to do it. And if this goes through, shame on all of them.
You're right, because at the state level, they've had plenty of opportunities to make reforms. Even though Maryland Heights might be the one who would do this, what is fundamentally just an utterly absurd, preposterous, outrageous idea to take 1,800 acres of floodplain and dramatically subsidize with tax dollars. It's development. It's going to be. It makes no sense economically. It makes no sense scientifically. I mean, it's just awful. Never mind that they'd be giving it to the team that just took the Rams out of St. Louis. I mean, that's just the final knife in the back.
Well, but the one person who was quoted as saying, "Hey, it's not going to flood. We built the levees up." It shows you that they only care about their little corner of the world.
They do, and that statement indicates that, and I would hope that the Maryland Heights official who said that will think about it and reconsider. The proposal's due in April, and then hopefully it'll really have a lot of intense energy to the discussion, and hopefully a lot of citizen opposition to it as well. But the state legislature, there's a bill tomorrow night to introduce some tax increment financing reform in St. Louis, St. Charles, and Jefferson County. So there's an opportunity for them to reform how we do tax increment financing right now. We'll see if this bill gets any legs in the Missouri General Assembly. And if it doesn't, then you can't just blame Maryland Heights or the people out in Ellisville who wanted to do the deal, or the people in Brentwood and Richmond Heights and every other city in St. Louis County, plus the city that's done a significant number of terrible proposals.
Ellisville stood up to the big bad developers.
Right. Then, as your listeners remember, probably, we talked dozens of times about the incredible backlash. So maybe Ellisville can be a model of what citizens in Maryland Heights can do if the city council passes
Well,
this.
Ellisville stood up, and now where they were going to give that big tax giveaway to a Walmart center, now is going to be developed with no tax subsidies. So they're going to be creating more revenue from that spot. And Florissant told the developers of that Walmart to go stick it, and they still went ahead and built that Walmart store up there. So it isn't like if they don't get this, it won't be built. It's being built other places without this special tax money.
And that's, if I can say one final push on my last regular appearance here. Just remember, the city of St. Louis County, St. Charles, Jefferson, we all grew, the east side, we all grew for centuries without a subsidy-based approach to development.
Right.
It wasn't until about the early 90s where all of a sudden everything started to have a gigantic tax subsidy. You can grow an economy. In fact, all the economic studies out there, all of them, say that it doesn't work to have an economic development plan for a region based on subsidies. Yet somehow, and I know it has to do with our fragmented nature of local government, it has to do with the developers who support these things benefit a great deal. The citizens who pay a little more don't see it as much.
Right.
So we're going forward to this despite the fact that it fails, and we don't have to do that.
And it isn't like they're going to be creating some newfangled gadget that will revolutionize the world and bring new jobs to the region. They're selling shirts and T-shirts and socks and underwear and pens. So you can buy all those things all over the place without a tax subsidy.
Exactly. You can right, and you can buy it online. Maybe we should all shop online in a protest against subsidies.
It's unbelievable. All right, David Stokes, you're out of here, but you're now going on to what's the place again?
Well, I'll be leaving Show Me Institute, and you can see all the writing we've done on tax increment financing. We have so much at showmeinstitute.org, and I'll be going to the Great Rivers Habitat Alliance, where I will still be opposing subsidized TIF in the floodplain.
But that sort of focuses on protecting floodplains and land and conservation and all those types of things.
It does, and it's a great organization, and Great Rivers Habitat Alliance. People can Google that and check out the website, and I'm really excited to be going towards it starting next week.
David Stokes, I would say goodbye, but I know we're going to see you from time to time, so thanks for coming.
I'll be popping in now and again to bug you.
Bother me about something.
Thanks, McGraw. Thanks, Kelly.
8:45 here, Big 550 KTRS.
Next paycheck, truly yours? Or is it already promised to the credit card company?